I think, Mike, I do want to ask you, like, how did you find yourself like meeting the folks from G&G?
Yeah. Um yeah, so I've been part of G&G now. I think it's going on like, oh, is it 3 years now? I think it's about 3 years or so cuz I started with them gaming, but I've actually like been around G&G, known Jeremy, all that stuff since, oh my god, I don't remember what year it was, but they were still a Facebook group at the time. They hadn't even started a
Oh,
YouTube channel.
wow.
Because Josiah, who like a lot of people don't realize this, it's like an OG member. Like he was like really early on in the conception of that, like helping Jeremy with stuff. Um, they like Josiah and Ben, Drywall Ben went to the first meetup they ever had. It was in Chicago, like they went to like a con or whatever. So my buddy or Josiah was like, "Yo, this guy back. This was back in the Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel days."
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
I will unabashedly say it. I love Man of Steel, and I know people will hate me for this, but I actually love Batman versus Superman. It's
Mhm.
actually it's. I don't think it's a perfect film. I don't think it's a masterpiece. But I think it's a pretty damn good film. I think it's a lot better than a lot of people say it is. So my buddy goes, "Yo, this guy over here on this Facebook group is talking shit about Man of Steel. You should join and talk to him." And so like this was back in the day, and Jeremy would be on there trashing Man of Steel or trashing Batman vs Superman, and I was like, "Fuck this guy." So I'd get on there and we would go at it. Now this was back when you couldn't swear either. Like back in the
Okay.
day, like Jeremy didn't let anybody swear in the group. You had to be like totally like cool and chill, and even if like if like insults started to be getting traded, like you get like a DM from one of the like mods being like, "Yo, chill a little bit." So we were like, "Fuck, bro." But yeah, me and Jeremy used to get into it. Um, and then yeah, right after the 2020 election, Jeremy was like, "Yo, everybody, it's all good. It's all fair game. Fuck this noise. Y'all can swear in the chat and everything." And we all went after it and stuff. But yeah, then they started their YouTube channel, and I mean, it's kind of the rest is history. I ended up joining for gaming, playing Modern Warfare, playing Warzone when it first dropped, and then kind of ever since. And Jeremy just kept bringing me into stuff. So yeah, it's a good time, man.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So, um, I I I actually really liked Man of Steel when it came out.
yeah,
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I love the Superman stuff of it. Like, the whole, I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's not Clark Kent though. He's not that, kind,
Yeah.
the very like, like wholesome like Clark Kent Superman. He's more like he just kills everyone. He's so dark, but like I like the visual effects. I like how strong he felt, like how
yeah,
powerful the character felt. And I'm like, this is good. In terms of like cinematography, I thought like if the flying was probably one of the best flyings like
oh yeah,
ever. So like and then I talked to a friend of mine who's like a big Superman fan. I was like, "What did you think about Man of Steel?" He's like, "I fucking hated it."
yeah,
It's like it's not Superman at all. It's like it's not Christopher Reeves. I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, it's not, but it's a reimagining." He's like, "No, Superman not is not supposed to be like that."
yeah.
So what did Jeremy think about Man of Steel? Was he like,
So Jeremy's take on it, if I remember correctly, and Jeremy, forgive me if I'm mischaracterizing you here, but he loved it when it first came out, and then he kept watching it over and over again. And after a while, he started like finding more and more things he didn't like about it, and then that quickly turned into him being like, "You know what? I actually really don't like this movie." And so he kind of started out enjoying it, and then as he kept watching it, he just found more and more fault with it. Um, I don't know. I'm not of that. I didn't obsessively watch it either when it came out. I watched it like twice when it first came out. But I do try. I'm not always good about it, but I do try like every year. I actually go back through. I watch Man of Steel. I watch Batman versus Superman. I'll try to watch a lot of the DC movies that I actually enjoy. I actually loved Zack Snyder's Justice League, not Joss Whedon's Justice League, but like I like long movies, so like a 4 hour cut of like superhero stuff. I'm like all in on that.
mhm,
Um, yeah, but I agree with you, man. It's a weird take because I get why people don't like it. I actually had a guy who lives in Kansas, and Superman's like it's part of their culture over there. And he
oh
explained
wow,
to me why he didn't like it. He explained to me that it didn't feel like the Superman that embodies what they take on it and the cultural significance that it has for them. And I get that. But I also really enjoy the I'm an alien and I'm kind of detached and I'm trying to find my place in this world. And how does the world react to an alien from another planet who has like the literal powers of a god and can't be destroyed? I kind of dig that. Like, so I really enjoyed that interpretation. I love Christopher Reeve's Superman, at least the first one and the second one. I get why people love it, but I feel like ever since his Superman, nobody's ever escaped that shadow. It's always been compared to his Superman, and I don't think it's necessarily fair because it's like we don't all compare Christian Bale's Batman to Michael Keaton's Batman. We don't, we don't compare Michael Keaton's Batman to Adam West's Batman. I mean, like some people do, but most of the time, like how many times has Batman been reimagined? We've had, let me see, Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, Robert Pattinson. And that's just, Kevin Conroy. We've had so many iterations of Batman and nobody complains, but we've had, Christopher Reeves, and I'm just talking about movies specifically, but we've had Christopher Reeves, we've had Brandon Routh, and then we had, Henry Cavill. So like only 3 in movies. I mean, we've had some on television. We had Dean Cain, stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I just don't feel like Superman gets as big of a fair shake in the interpretations that people take of him, because nobody seems to have a problem with making Batman like a regular dude in a suit that's just beating people up. But like, I feel like Ben Affleck's Batman's probably the best Batman we've ever gotten as far as like comic book accuracy.
Yeah.
With the exception of him shooting people. I know people get really upset about that. I'm talking about like the way Batman is perceived, the way he looks, the way he carries himself, even the ninja shit and him being scary and stuff like that. That's Batman. Christian Bale's was like a total reimagining and nobody batted an eye and got freaked out about it. So
yeah. What about you, Grae? Like, did you like, were you one of the people amongst your friends that really like Man of Steel, and your other friends were like, Man of Steel fucking sucks?
I yeah, I know some of my friends that thought Man of Steel was boring, but even now I still kind of like it. Yeah, I get the flaws you guys pointed out, right? Jeremy mentioned he should have saved his dad for the tornado. Yeah, I think that's valid. Then he shouldn't have killed Zod, which actually I don't know. It's because it was a hard situation still. If I think about it, that situation with Zod. It's like if he didn't kill him, like how would they have contained him after they demolished basically the entire city? But yeah, overall I kind of liked it because of how action oriented it is. I forgot which Superman it was that I mentioned this before, but one of the Supermans were like literally no action in it. Like it was just him talking the entire time. It's like, yeah, I get it. Superman is like, yeah, a peacekeeping guy, the guy who loves everyone. But I mean, you gotta utilize that power at some point, like the laser, the ice jet, the being able to fly. You gotta utilize it at some point to make it a little bit more interesting, which Man of Steel really did really well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel about Man of Steel.
Thanks for checking out this segment of the Project Eggroll podcast. If you like what we do here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will know next time when we go live. We do go live every Saturday at 8 p.m. Once again, we are just getting started. Tons of more video to come. Thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.